I can't help but feel bad for AMD. Every time they go to announce a new GPU, NVIDIA's ready, waiting to pounce. It's like that friend that everyone has, the one who likes to make everything about themselves. You know the type. When AMD announced the Vega cards some time ago, NVIDIA was ready with the GTX 1070 Ti. And this year seems to be no different. Just a week before the Navi launch, NVIDIA is ready with their RTX Super cards. And today, we're playing with the RTX 2070 Super. The RTX 2070 Super is an upgraded version of the RTX 2070 with a bump in core counts, clock speeds, and a lot more. In a way, you can also consider it as a shaved down version of the OG 2080 as it uses the same TU104 die as the RTX 2080. CUDA core count is up to 2560 from the 2070's 2304. The base clock speed in the 2070 Super is 1605 MHz, which is pretty close to the 2070's boost clock speed. Tensor cores are up too, from 288 in the 2070 to 320 in the 2070 Super. Understandably, these boosts also result in a TDP increase of 40 watts from the 2070's 175 watt to 215 watt in the 2070 Super. This also means that the 2070 Super now requires an additional 6-pin power connector just like the 2080. Visually, the RTX 2070 Super looks quite similar to the original RTX series with the same dual fan design and form factor. The difference here is in the middle, where it now sports the Super branding on a reflective, glossy surface. Personally, I prefer the matte finish on the original RTX cards, but hey, to each their own. On the display front, the 2070 Super ditches the DVI port found on the 2070 in the favor of another display port, bringing the count to 3 display ports, 1 HDMI port, and 1 USB Type-C. But the real deal, and quite frankly, the thing that we care about the most is how the card performs and how it holds up against the 2070 and the 2080. So let's take a look at the numbers. Right off the bat, it's hard not to be impressed by the 2070 Super's performance. The card gives really solid numbers at 1440p throughout the benchmarks, and in some cases, is pretty viable for 4K gaming as well if you don't mind turning down a few settings. Overall, the performance gap between the 2070 Super and the 2080 was less than 10%. The cheapest RTX 2080 we could find was worth 59,000 rupees, so at the launch price of 43,600 rupees, that makes it amazing value for money. Comparing it to the 2070 is where the price gap gets a little close, as the cheapest RTX 2070 we found costs 38,000 rupees. The 2070 Super outperforms the 2070 by a little over 10% on an average at 1440p, so even here it doesn't sound like a bad option. But the big question is, what prompted the release of the RTX Super cards? NVIDIA claims that it was the tech improvements and tweaking that has allowed them to obtain better yields, which certainly sounds plausible. But the timing of this launch, right before AMD is supposed to launch their Navi graphic cards, can lead one to believe otherwise. I mean, we did see the RX 5700 cards competing very closely with the 2070 in the league benchmarks. So it wouldn't be completely off base for one to think that NVIDIA, with their Super cards, are trying to get ahead of the competition before the Navi cards are even out. In that case, you know who to thank for Super's sensible pricing. I mean, it has been a long time coming. This is what RTX should have been at launch, especially considering the serious lack of ray tracing support in games when it first came out. But hey, as they say, better late than never. All said and done, with its competitive pricing, the RTX 2070 Super is an amazing card for 1440p gaming. At 43,600 rupees, you get considerable gains for a small increase in price and a good ray tracing experience as well. People who have already bought the 2070 will feel bad, but for those who are still waiting to get their hands on an RTX GPU, this is it. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Also, do subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more tech news and reviews.